When you were born, you cried, while everyone around you smiled. But here's the truly terrifying part of that. Most people spend their entire lives making sure the exact opposite happens when they die. They just leave this world quietly, without ever having actually truly lived in it.
Okay, let's dive into this, because we are living in the most connected era in all of human history, right? Yet somehow, people have literally never felt more alone. I mean, we can send rockets into space, but most of us can't sit in silence with our own thoughts for even 5 minutes. Everyone is just so incredibly busy. Busy replying, busy scrolling, busy surviving. But we really need to understand this. Being busy surviving is fundamentally not the same thing as being alive.
To figure out how to escape this modern trap, this explainer draws from a massive collection of life lessons. Just look at the vast scope of Robin Sharma's incredible book, Who Will Cry When You Die? It's basically a masterclass packed with over 100 bite-sized lessons, covering everything from finding your calling to honoring your past. And today, we're distilling that deep insight into one powerful manifesto.
Idea 1. The real tragedy.
A lot of people mistakenly believe that physical death is life's greatest tragedy. But Norman Cousins hit the nail on the head when he said, "The tragedy of life is not death, but what we let die inside of us while we live." The real tragedy is watching parts of yourself just perish while you are still breathing. It's your dreams, your curiosity, your courage, all slowly, day by day, getting replaced by mindless routine.
And time doesn't pause for your confusion. It certainly doesn't wait around for the perfect moment. Every single day you spend trapped in regret is literally a day stolen straight from your future. Every beautiful sunset you ignore, that is one you will never, ever get back. The clock is always ticking.
Let's move on to idea 2, tough love.
And this brilliantly illustrates a brutal, unforgiving reality. Most people are stuck waiting for inspiration to strike, just waiting to feel motivated before they act. It's a massive trap. Highly successful people, they aren't superhuman. They just absolutely refuse to let temporary emotions control their direction. They choose what is right over what is easy.
This brings us to a fascinating paradox from Sharma's work. The tougher you are on yourself, the easier life will be on you. When you demand more from yourself, waking up early, staying disciplined, you actually remove the friction from your life. Taking on the hard things now makes your future path incredibly smooth. Idea 3. Your mind creates reality.
Think about this. 2 people can exist in the exact same environment, the exact same room, but experience completely different worlds. One person's lens shows them nothing but suffering and gray routine. The other person looks at the same thing and sees meaning, growth, and opportunity. Your perspective is quietly shaping your actual destiny, every single minute.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this quote from Stephen Hawking. He reminds us that we live on a minor planet of a very average star. Suddenly, all those enormous feeling problems you're carrying, they instantly shrink. They are just tiny flashes in the grand scale of eternity. And that tiny flash is the only thing you truly own.
Which brings us to idea 4. Action changes everything.
So the crucial point is exposing our modern addiction to endless preparation. We read books, we watch motivational videos, we make elaborate plans, but we never actually take a real step. Here's the secret nobody talks about. You cannot discover new oceans while refusing to leave the shore. Knowledge is absolutely useless without action.
You have to build kinetic momentum, build your discipline, get up early and win the battle of the bed before the rest of the world is even awake. Act on what you know. Paths are not magically found out there in the woods. They are built, step by step, fear by fear, choice by choice.
The shift. Become the CEO of your life.
Let's move to and see how this builds a completely new way of living. It is time to stop surviving on autopilot, stop blaming your past, and stop waiting for permission. Sharma gives us these rapid-fire daily habits. Journal daily to clear your mind. Learn to say no gracefully. Find your unique calling, and ruthlessly cut out the nonsense to focus only on what's worthy. These habits will quietly become your destiny.
And now, the final verdict.
We really need to sober up to this fact. One day, your entire life is just going to be a memory. And absolutely no one is going to care how many emails you answered or how busy you always were. Stripped of the whole modern rat race, it comes down to these heavy questions. Who did you love? Who did you help? Who became stronger simply because you existed?
Looking at Robin Sharma's work, a title like Who Will Cry When You Die sounds like a book obsessing over death, but it isn't. It's actually the ultimate survival guide for living intentionally. It uses our mortality as a massive wake-up call so we can appreciate the immense gift of right now.
Because here is the absolute truth of it all. The people who truly live are never forgotten. When you live intentionally, when you design your life rather than just letting it happen to you, you leave an indelible mark. Your legacy takes care of itself.
So who will cry when you die? Don't wait until you hit rock bottom to finally wake up. Your life is happening right this second. Stop just surviving and start living by design, because what happens next is entirely up to you.